Hey everybody, Kyle Goth here from the Goat Film Reviews YouTube channel and goatfilmreviews.com, and I've got my quick reaction to the new horror film Talk to Me. This was, I believe, directed by two YouTube short film creators, which is really kind of an inspiring choice. And to be honest, it's going to be weird when I say this, the movie was inspiring. And I don't mean inspiring like I got out of the film and I wanted to run up a mountain or anything like that, but every once in a while a film comes along that makes you realize that the art form can do so much. This is a very weird tale, a very unique tale, but also it's one that made me want to get out and just grab a pen and paper and start, working on my own stuff again. And I think as a creative, that's a really powerful thing. Is I think I get that way when I see great stories, when I see great pieces of art, great films. They make me want to go home and do my own stuff. They make me want to go home and say, yeah, I can do that too. Which is a nice feeling for a creative. Lead performances are great. I didn't recognize anyone in this film except for Miranda Otto. I believe it's an Australian production, so it makes sense that I wouldn't know everybody, but this A24 film is just phenomenal. I'm going to tell you my nitpicks really quick. I think the first scene, while executed well, the opening of the film is executed very well. It's also a scene that, in many ways, is something I've seen before. I call it kind of like a house opening for horror films, because the show House used to open pretty much the exact same way every single episode. And this opening has a very similar opening to a lot of other horror movies. It's just how it eventually works itself in that works better. But the first scene I was like, uh-oh, we're in for one of these. We're in for one of these, just like every other horror films. And in a year when we haven't had many great horror films, I guess I'll tell you I was a little bit tempered in my expectations, and Talk to Me was really great. Had a great mythology, some great character work. The story twisted and turned, and when it ended up where it ended up, it felt to me like I should have gotten there. I should have figured out where it was going. It seems obvious in after the fact where the film kind of circulates itself and where it ends up from where it began. But I also didn't really know. Like, there was a lot of times throughout the narrative that I was wondering, are they going to end it like this, or are they going to end it like that? And they kind of did something, a little bit of both, but a little bit of neither. I expected this film to have its last 40 minutes be really heavily invested in figuring out what's happening, instead of just saying, here's what's happening and here's how we're going to deal with it. And it kind of goes that way, where it's, again, like, these are the rules set up in place, and that mythology is all you're going to get. And that's something I think would be interesting to see, maybe an eventual sequel or something like that, because I do think this film is going to be a hit. I think it's going to be a hit. And I was really impressed with it all the way through. There's very few things that I have issues with in this film. You're probably not going to see it on my end of the year list, because I tend to reserve that for movies that came out in 2023. This thing had a festival run last year. But I got to make sure that I'm still talking about this by the end of the year, because it's definitely one of those movies that made me go, yes. Yes, horror is still alive and well after basically wringing all we could out of it in 2022. It's great to see something just completely upend my expectations like this one did. I probably wouldn't have been all that crazy excited to see it if not for the great word of mouth, and the trust that I have in A24 as a studio to, even if I don't like their movies, I always respect them. And this is one that I not only respected, but liked quite a bit. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on Talk to Me down below in the comments section. And what's your favorite recent horror film that's not this one? Yeah, I'd love to hear about that down there. Make sure while you're down there as well, you check out liking and subscribing, of course, because, they help my channel out and they make sure you never miss an episode of the show. You can also check out goatfilmreviews.com for my many written reviews. You can check out Goat Film Reviews on Facebook. You can follow me at Almighty Goatman on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and Threads. And you can find my show, Kyle and Nick on Film, on YouTube. It's a show I co-host with Nick Plachuk from the St. Paul Filmcast. We have new episodes every single week. All those links are down in the description, except for maybe Threads. And I'll see you next time.